We just started the beginning of Perek Aleph, the first chapter, Mesilat Yesharim, which opens up with the words, Bebeor Klal Chovat Ha'adam Ba'olamo. We're going to be learning about man's obligation, man's mission in his world. The Mishnah Masechet Sanhedrin, Daf Lamed Zayin, tells us, when Hashem created the world, He created Adam alone. He could have really created many first people. If He wished to populate the world quickly, instead of just making Adam and then Chava, He could have made 10, 20, 30, 50 people. But Hashem was sending a message by creating the world with just Adam alone. And the Mishnah lets us know a number of messages. But we'll focus on one, and that is to understand that a person is a world unto himself. One person is a world. And Rashi tells us the message here is that value your actions, value your choices, understand, like the Mishnah says, if we chas v'shalom kill a person, we've killed an entire world, the value of one human being. And that's one very powerful message to learn from this, that Hashem created man, one, Adam, and didn't create many first men. But there's an additional message here. Harav Shimon Schwab Zatzal tells us another message. When the Torah tells us that Hashem created man B'Tselem Elokim, in the image of God, there are different ways of understanding that. Says Rav Schwab, we know Hashem is Echad. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elkeinu, Hashem Echad. Hashem is Yechidut. Man was created B'Tselem Elokim, meaning he has that quality of Yechidut. Every person has in him a certain individuality. And he says, really, people know it deep down. Everyone really feels deep down that no one really is quite like me, and it's true. And because no one is quite like you, and no one really ever will be quite like you, says Rav Schwab, a person has to really value himself and understand what his mission is. So as we start this Sefer and we learn about Chovat Ha'adam Ba'olamo, man's mission in his world, we need to understand Hashem created us a Yachid. We have a godly trait, which is just like God is Echad, we have a bit of that. Of course, we're not Echad, but we have a spark of that, an image of that. And that Yechidut, that individuality that each and every one of us has, is something we have to tap into as we start learning the Sefer Mesilat Yesharim. Because the opening argument here is for a person to study his mission. Let's go to the first line in the Sefer. Yesod HaChasidut v'shorsh ha'avodah ha'tmima sheyitbarer v'yitamet etzel ha'adam ma chovato ba'olamo. So the foundation and the root of Chasidut and pure service of God is for a person to understand his mission. Now, what does it mean, the foundation of Chasidut? So to open the Sefer, we need to understand that the book Mesilat Yesharim is divided into two parts. The first 12 chapters and then the second half. The first chapters discuss a tzaddik. A tzaddik is a person that does everything completely right. He's a perfect Jew, does it all good, keeps all of Shulchan Aruch, a great guy. But he's only a tzaddik. It's basic level. He doesn't sin, does mitzvot. The second half of the book deals with a chassid. A chassid, in a nutshell, is a Jew that does extra, lefnim meshurat hadin, does more than he is required to. So as we open the book, the Ramchal tells us, yes, we're heading on the path to discover and to find Chasidut. What is Chasidut? A Jew who wishes not just to serve Hashem basic, but to do more. Not just to go into a store when we buy a gift for a wife. Of course, we wouldn't say, give me the cheapest coat, the cheapest ring, but we look for a beautiful coat. So too, in our service of Hashem, we learn there's something called Chasidut. I don't just want to do the mitzvot, I want to do them beautifully. I want to do it with extra. I want to do it with love. That's a Chasid. So we're starting the book, and the goal at the very onset is to understand where we're headed, we're headed towards Chassidut.